Hello everyone and welcome to yet another episode of Soccer Stories. Today we'll be talking about the charisma and the power behind the magical number 10 jersey in football. To common folks, 10 could just be a number. But to the crazy fans of the beautiful game, it's just the opposite. The number denoting both power and magic, and bringing back a rush of memories. The game's dress code, which demanded the players to wear a jersey with a number on it, was made a part of football's law sometime during the turn of the 20th century. This to help spectators whose numbers then were slowly but steadily increasing, and the referee to identify the players on the field easily. Initially, the number 10 jersey were normally worn by deep-lying midfielders, and no particular attention was given to such mundane things until the arrival of the magical Magyars and Ferenc Puskás to the world stage. An incredible forward who led Hungary to the 1952 Olympic gold and 3 European Cups, Puskás gave a meaning to the number 10 in the 1954 World Cup. To begin with, within the Hungarian side, it was Nandor Hidegkuti who was assigned the number, before Puskás took it over from the deep-lying centre forward and worked his magic to emerge himself as the first superhero of the game. The number was then to become a real rage through the great Pele, as he made a sensational debut in the 1958 World Cup. Interestingly, all because of an accident. The Brazilian team management had failed to provide numbers to its players, and this left FIFA to take up the matter in its own hand. The precociously talented 17-year-old was given the number, and history was soon to be born. The success story that Pele scripted in Sweden was to give the number a particular allure. The Brazilian great from then on wore the number throughout his glorious career, and it is no coincidence that the stars of almost all nations today have come to wear the number 10 jersey. In fact, such is the halo around this number that even to this day, just about every small kid who starts kicking the ball aspires to wear a jersey with the same number once denoted by the game's top idol. It is again interesting to note that Pele himself created this new and continuing fad, all because his nation led a tactical revolution at that time, switching from the traditional 3-2-5 formation to the highly popular 4-2-4, and spiraled the South American nation to the top of the world. It was indeed Brazil's amazingly new formation which pushed Pele forward into striking role. But all the same, it should also be understood that it was the all-embracing skills exhibited by Pele to move back into the midfield, dictate the pace of play, and still be on hand up front to score the goals that eventually contributed a lot to the birth of the new number 10. Naturally, many have since then followed Pele model, and to this breed belong Eusebio of Portugal, Brazil's own white Pele Zico, and Michel Platini of France, all legendary players in their own right, who displayed the inherent ability to dictate the destiny of their respective teams, almost single-handedly. Following their footsteps, this glamorous number has also emblazoned the jerseys of several other football virtuosos, who have been able to lift the game to the sublime and capture the hearts of the game's fans the world over. This list quite necessarily should begin with the name of Diego Armando Maradona, whose unpredictable genius and ingenuity was instrumental in Argentina winning the World Cup in 1986 in Mexico. Though lacking Pele's athletic physique, Maradona still was on a class of his own, proving to be the modern exponent of the role perfected by the game's greatest player ever. His spurt of speed that almost always caught rival defenses unaware, and quick thinking stood out time and again, and this in turn was to be a great bonus in helping Maradona swiftly climb the popularity rating tables, even as commercial television and increasing football coverage coincided his illustrious career. Mario Kempes, as he led the successful Argentinian campaign in the 1978 World Cup, also wore the number 10 shirt and swept both the individual awards, the Golden Ball and the Golden Boot, besides the game's ultimate prize. An equally powerful messenger of the number 10 was the dreadlocked Ruud Gullit of the Netherlands, a versatile player who could play in virtually any position and who, during his prime, exerted an extraordinary influence in the revival of his country's fortunes in world football. This list certainly is not endless, but there are also a few other players who have been to do justice to the number, though not in the same vein that Pele, Maradona and Gullit did. Yes, we are referring to Lothar Matthäus, the German icon who was to lead the German force on the front during the peak of his career. Though not in the classical number 10 mold, Matthäus through the years was to prove as Germany's driving force, utilizing his vast experience on the field, playing both at the club and the international level. He had worn number 10 in Mexico 1986 before getting to number 10 4 years later. Gary Lineker of England was another one hero, and so too was Italian spearhead Roberto Baggio. Of course, we by no means can forget about Carlos Valderrama, the supreme ball artist from Colombia, who was known once as the White Gullit for his shock of frizzy blonde hair and superb ball artist. So too is the case with Enzo Schifo, who had led Belgium to the 1986 semi-final, George Hagi of Romania and Igor Protasov of Russia, all players with a definite touch and skill. Also, not to be left out from the Maradona era is Michael Laudrup of Denmark, who on a given day could destroy the rival defenses all on his own. Post that period, we have also seen the likes of Brazilian magician Ronaldinho and Frenchman Zinedine Zidane charter history wearing the iconic number alongside Wayne Rooney of England. An intermediate who also wore the number during this period was Ronaldinho's countrymate Rivaldo. In Qatar, which is the first Middle East country to host the tournament for the game's holy grail and the second Asian country to do so, things are certainly not to be too different. The first championships to be held in winter rather than in summer, in which all World Cups have been held right from the 1930s. The tournament is to be reverberated with the cries of Lionel Messi, Neymar, Luka Modric, Harry Kane, Kylian Mbappe and Eden Hazard resonating from the stands as they speed away with the ball. The November 21 to December 18 event as such looks wide open as of now. But the question that lingers in everybody's mind is whether the greatest player of our time, Lionel Messi, would he be able to fill his trophy cabinet with the one medal that he covets so much, even willing to give away the rest of his collection for this missing medallion? And in the process, would he be able to provide further radiance to the hallowed number 10? Appropriately enough, the jersey with the number 10 would be worn by many in the years to come. And naturally, these players are bound to be burdened with a huge responsibility to match the style and creative talent exhibited by their predecessors. Whether they are able to rise to the occasion or not, it is certain that they will always be in the focus of attention, for such is the aura that the number has come to generate over the years. With this, we conclude today's episode. Stay tuned to Striking Seconds for more soccer stories. Hasta la vista.